Have you ever encountered a place where profound beauty and devastating heartbreak exist in such proximity that distinguishing between them becomes impossible? Bangladesh, a nation of 170 million people compressed into an area smaller than Iowa, embodies this very paradox. Here, bustling markets pulse alongside ancient customs, while hidden struggles unfold beneath the surface of daily life. This journey transcends typical travel narratives. We delve into Bangladesh's very essence, unearthing stories that will challenge your perceptions, stir your emotions, and perhaps illuminate deeper truths about human endurance. From Dhaka's frenetic thoroughfares to the shadowed corners of Dalaitia, we'll navigate a realm where survival demands sacrifices that stretch beyond most people's imagination. Join us as we unravel the intricate layers of a culture simultaneously timeless and unforgiving, exposing the remarkable resilience and profound humanity that characterize Bangladesh's people. Number 1. Dalaitia, the village of broken dreams. Envision a vast settlement sprawling along the Padma River's banks, where between 1,600 and 2,000 women labor within what's recognized as the world's largest brothel community, Dalaitia. This location transcends the simple definition of a red light district. It represents a microcosm of Bangladesh's cultural complexities, where economic desperation and tradition interweave to create an intricate social fabric. Many of these women, some barely 14 years old, arrived here through desperate family circumstances, sold for amounts as modest as $250. They inhabit corrugated metal shelters under the authority of madams who once walked similar paths. The 2020 lockdowns brought devastating consequences. 70% of these women confronted severe hunger as clients disappeared, and relief efforts arrived slowly and inadequately. A single encounter yields approximately $2 for 10 minutes of work, with the majority flowing to rent payments or intermediaries. Yet within this grim reality, some women discover a harsh form of independence, gradually achieving autonomy after years trapped in debt cycles. Despite societal rejection, only 200 women managed to leave Dalaitia in 2023, a modest triumph within an ocean of ongoing struggle. What constitutes hope in such circumstances? We refuse to turn away from harsh realities. Dalaitia's narrative serves as a stark illustration of what desperation can create, yet simultaneously stands as proof of the human spirit's refusal to surrender completely. But Dalaitia represents merely one fragment of Bangladesh's intricate social puzzle. In remote villages scattered along its waterways, another practice born from necessity raises profound questions about survival and moral boundaries. Number 2. Survival bargains. The economics of desperation. Within Bangladesh's riverine villages, among marginalized communities like the Bede, exists a practice frequently mischaracterized as husband sharing, revealing instead the brutal economics of survival. This arrangement has nothing to do with romance. It concerns widows or abandoned women entering agreements where multiple men provide food or shelter in exchange for companionship. With 38% of rural Bangladesh subsisting on less than $1.90 daily, these arrangements literally keep families fed. Anthropologists documented such practices in Chittagong's riverine regions during 2019, estimating involvement of 5,000 women by 2024. While whispered about and judged, this practice becomes less shocking when witnessing the mud dwellings, single daily meals, and complete absence of electricity that define these communities. How would you choose between hunger and dignity? Our aim is understanding rather than sensationalism. These women's choices, born from absolute necessity, challenge conventional morality concepts within a world far removed from modern conveniences and instant solutions. Rural life's complexities lead us toward broader questions. How does a nation balance religious faith with pragmatic survival when existence itself hangs in the balance? Let's examine the legal and cultural contradictions that shape Bangladesh's identity. Number 3. A legal paradox, navigating faith and reality. Bangladesh, a Muslim-majority nation, walks a precarious tightrope. Since 2000, women over 18 can legally register as sex workers, yet the constitution simultaneously urges the state to eliminate such practices. By 2020, the country housed 200,000 sex workers, with estimates of 10,000 to 29,000 being underage. Brothels like Kandapara and Tongal, operating for 2 centuries, remain under the control of powerful families often beyond legal reach. In 2014, only 8 traffickers received convictions among 6,000 arrests, a conviction rate below 0.5%. Women in these establishments, sold for $137 to $450, work to repay debts while earning just $2 per client, though half goes to madams. In 2023, Dhaka's brothels housed 7,000 women, with 30% being underage despite existing laws. This paradox represents a cornerstone of our mission to reveal hidden truths, a nation striving for progress while remaining tethered to traditions that profit from human suffering, trapping women within cycles of debt and despair. Bangladesh women's struggles extend beyond brothels to Cox's Bazar's refugee camps, where another group fights for survival against overwhelming circumstances. Number 4. The Rohingya Crisis, Resilience in Exile. In Cox's Bazar, over 700,000 Rohingya refugees who fled Myanmar in 2017 inhabit bamboo structures on muddy hillsides. Desperation drives some women toward sex work. 500 were reported in Kutupalong camp during 2017, some as young as 14, earning $1.84 per client after intermediaries claim half their earnings. Lured by false employment promises, many find themselves sold into brothels for $500. Food rations remain inadequate. 60% of Rohingya children suffered malnutrition in 2024, forcing mothers toward desperate measures to purchase rice. Local populations often harbor resentment toward the Rohingya for straining resources, as Cox's Bazar's population doubled since 2017. Yet these women embody survival rather than mere victimhood. We illuminate their resilience, a hidden strength within a world that frequently overlooks their humanity. In Kutupalong, I encountered Amina, a Rohingya mother weaving baskets from bamboo scraps, selling them for pennies. She shared a folktale her grandmother told about a river spirit protecting those who endure hardship. "The spirit watches over us," Amina declared, her eyes bright with hope. Her quiet strength, weaving baskets beneath a tarp while humming ancient melodies, touched my heart deeply, reminding me that even in exile, stories preserve hope's flame. From the camps, we turn toward a historical legacy blending artistry with suffering, revealing how Bangladesh's past continues shaping its present reality. Number 5. The Baiji Legacy, Art Born from Struggle. Centuries past, Baiji courtesans represented Bengal's cultural pride, masterfully skilled in dance, song, and poetry under Mughal patronage. Their elegance, captured in poems like Ganamoti Chandra's works, achieved legendary status. Today, their legacy lingers within Dhaka's fading Baiji neighborhoods like Nimtali, though tainted by persistent stigma. Modern sex workers, sometimes called Baran Bonita, inherit the Baiji's shame without their elevated status. A Dhaka slum apartment costs $500 monthly, while sex workers earn $10 nightly. In 2023, only 50 of Nimtali's 1,000 women received training in skills like sewing, a small step toward escape within a society that brands them impure. We mourn the lost grace of the Baiji while celebrating their successors' resilience, whose voices still sing for survival amid the city's chaos. In Nimtali, I discovered an elderly woman named Rani claiming her great-grandmother was a Baiji. Over tea, she shared an amusing tale of her ancestor outsmarting a pompous noble by hiding his prized turban during a performance only to return it mid-dance to roaring applause. Rani's laughter as she mimicked the noble's red face warmed the cramped room, a fleeting moment of joy within a life shaped by struggle. The Baiji story represents just one thread in Bangladesh's survival tapestry. In the shadows, another crisis looms, one that steals childhoods and tests the nation's resolve. Number 6. Trafficking, the theft of dreams. Trafficking fuels Bangladesh's sex trade, with 100,000 women and girls ensnared, less than 10% by choice. Girls as young as 10 are sold or kidnapped, forced to sign false affidavits claiming 18 years of age. In 2023, only 4 of 20,000 reported trafficking cases reached prosecution. Hampered by corruption, police frequently accept $50 bribes to look away. Brothels like Dauladia house 700 to 1,000 workers, each earning $3 to $6 per client. In 2024, 15,000 girls were trafficked across borders, many to India. NGOs like Blast rescue dozens yearly, but the cycle persists relentlessly. What would breaking this cycle require? We seek to understand the human cost of systems where survival often means sacrificing everything. In a Dhaka slum, I met 16-year-old Noor, rescued by an NGO after years in a brothel. She shared heartwarming stories of late-night conversations with other girls, inventing games where they'd rename stars to escape their reality. "That one's freedom," Noor giggled, pointing skyward. Her dream of becoming a teacher, sparked by those starry nights, moved me profoundly, the flicker of hope in a world attempting to dim her light. From urban shadows, we journey to Bangladesh's rural heartlands where poverty shapes choices in ways that challenge understanding. Number 7. Rural struggles, where poverty defines choices. In Bangladesh's rural villages, 80% of the population survives on less than $100 monthly. Along the Brahmaputra River, without electricity or clean water, life becomes daily grinding survival. Women walk miles fetching water while men toil in fields for barely sufficient rice. The 2022 floods destroyed 30% of crops, leaving 4 million farmers in debt. Here, practices like shared support emerge from desperation. A widow might accept rice from neighbors for intimacy to feed her children. In 2024, 10,000 women in Sylhet's flood-prone areas were reportedly in such arrangements. We peel back rural life's layers, revealing both quiet tragedies and remarkable resilience among Bangladesh's people. Amid these struggles, sparks of change flicker, demonstrating that even in darkness's deepest corners, hope can take root. Number 8. Sparks of change. Fighting for tomorrow. Change arrives slowly but genuinely. NGOs like Mukti Mohila Samiti, led by former sex workers, provide food and legal aid, helping 200 girls escape Dalatia since 2015. In 1999, 100 sex workers won a landmark case against eviction from Tan Bazaar brothel, securing legal recognition. Save the Children educates 300 children in Dalatia, offering pathways out. Yet challenges remain. 50% of girls married as children in 2020, and only 5% of Dalatia's workers accessed government aid in 2023 due to corruption. These fighters represent the heart of our mission, celebrating resilience against crushing odds. Faith also plays complex roles in Bangladesh, weaving through struggles and shaping how people navigate survival. Number 9. Faith and morality, a delicate balance. With 90% Muslim population, Bangladesh embodies a land of mosques and daily prayers, yet sex work operates openly. In 2024, 70% of Dalatia's sex workers were Muslim, praying secretly to avoid judgment. Some brothels like Kandapara donate to mosques, forming uneasy alliances. In rural areas, shared support is viewed by some as lesser compromise than starvation. In 2023, 20% of Bangladeshis supported rehabilitation for sex workers. A small shift toward compassion. How do you balance belief with survival? We explore this resilience, a hidden strength challenging conventional morality views. From villages, we return to Dhaka's urban chaos, where secrets hide in plain sight amid the city's vibrant pulse. Number 10. Dhaka's chaos, a city of contrasts. Dhaka, a sprawling metropolis of 22 million, represents a vibrant paradox where dreams wrestle with daily struggles. Its streets pulse with energy. Rickshaws dart through traffic, bells ringing like the city's heartbeat, while towering skyscrapers cast shadows over fragile shanties. Living costs sting harshly. A cramped Gulshan apartment demands $600 monthly, yet Rahim, a tea seller, earns $4 daily, his calloused hands brewing chai under tattered tarps. In 2024, 50,000 street vendors, many women, flooded Dhaka's corners, hawking mangoes and bangles for $3 to $5 daily. Their hustle testifies to the city's relentless spirit. In Mirpur's tangled alleys I met Shanti, a 28-year-old seamstress stitching saris by flickering lamplight, her $10 nightly wages supporting 3 siblings. Her tale of neighbors sharing biryani scraps during Eid transformed a muddy lane into celebration, a moment warming my soul. These community stories are Dhaka's hidden gems, shining through chaos. Yet the city tests its people. Smog peaked in 2024, clouding air while monsoon floods transformed streets into rivers, straining millions. Still, Dhaka enchants. Sadarghat's riverfront teems with spice-laden boats and Bangla melodies float from tea stalls, weaving magic into mayhem. How do you find joy in such whirlwinds? We reveal Dhaka's essence in markets where vendors smile despite grime, and in people who sculpt hope from hardship. This city, equally overwhelming and alluring, embodies Bangladesh's unbreakable will, each corner whispering survival tales and unexpected beauty. Number 11. The River's Whisper, Life Along the Meghna. The Meghna River, a lifeline weaving through Bangladesh's heart, tells survival stories echoing beyond its banks. In 2025, over 10 million people depend on its waters for fishing, farming, and transport. Yet climate shifts threaten their way of life. In villages like Bola, families inhabit stilted homes, adapting to floods submerging fields yearly. Women like Salma, a 32-year-old fisherwoman, rise before dawn, casting nets for hilsa fish fetching $3 daily. Her calloused hands and warm smile hide struggles of feeding 5 children on such earnings. In 2024, rising salinity from sea-level rise cut fish yields by 20%, pushing families toward urban slums. Yet Salma's community clings to hope, sharing meals under lantern light, singing folk songs of the river's eternal flow. We uncover their resilience, quiet defiance against nature's whims. I met Jamal, a boy who carved toy boats from driftwood, dreaming of sailing to Dhaka. His grin racing it across puddles stirred my heart, reminding me how dreams persist in humblest places. How do you hold hope when the river you love betrays you? This is Bangladesh's untold story, where the Meghna's whisper carries both sorrow and strength, a hidden gem of human endurance. From the river's edge we shift to Bangladesh's vibrant festival chaos, where joy and struggle intertwine in life's celebration.